Hello, it's just a quick video. Oh, look, it might be a quick video. This is the nature of repair videos, is that with a video like a build video like the SidKick Pico, I knew what to do because I could practice before I actually made it and make sure that I wasn't making a complete fool of myself. Now, the thing is with repair videos, you really don't know. Almost, what do you know what you don't know? Even a simple repair where you think everything, you could predict everything. And I've made these videos before where I thought, I know what that's going to be, so I've prepared a video to be what that's going to be, to show what that's going to, how that's going to be repaired, and it's not. So what's happening here is kind of that. So this is a Commodore 128, which is something that I don't own. This is one of Paul Universal Retro Boss's computers that he sent over a while ago for repair. I haven't got around to it yet. It's got a broken key here that I need to extract. There's a key post that's actually missing in there. So I've got to get that inner bit out of there and replace the key post. Actually, replace the key. Is this the... Oh no, this is a replacement key. Yeah, I think this might be the replacement key. It's been quite a while, so I don't know if I've actually, if I purchased, yeah, that looks like a completely different color. So yeah, that's the key to go in there, but I need to get that key post out. Has that got a, that's a different shape. There's like a little, oh, well, we'll cross that bridge when we're ready to burn it. So what's wrong with this is it doesn't always switch on. That's a lie. It does always switch on. It comes on with a black screen. So if you hold down the reset button on the side, which is under here, got it there, and power it on, it boots into C64 mode every time. I'll show you that in a minute. But in 128 mode, it usually does it on the first attempt and then doesn't do it again. So I'm going to set up my capture and I'll show you what's going on. Yeah, before we go on, I've got this power adapter for C64 power supply, and my C64 power supply, which is here, you can just see, was built by Adam Commodore Lad from the Twitter, and he put it in that case. It's a, you know, it's modern power supplies. It works really well, but this is just to convert that C64 because this looks like an Amiga power supply, but it actually supplies different voltages, and you should not plug an Amiga into a C128. So let's get that plugged in. I've got the capture plugged in. Here we go. There we go. It does that. And this is running through composite at the moment. I have got an SVHS cable for it, but my capture device doesn't really like SVHS for some reason. So if I turn it off and then turn it back on again, it'll come back on. Right, now I'm going to just do fast forward while I turn it off and turn it back on. Oh, now it's not working. But if I turn it off and turn it back on again, it'll probably just go black screen every time now. Or something, it's really random. And to be honest, when I first did it, like, it's black screen now, it did it more black screen than turning on. So I'm going to turn it off, hold down the reset and turn it on. I'll let the reset go. Am I forgetting how to? Oh no, so you hold down the Commodore key, not reset. I'm hoping I've got the keyboard plugged in. I don't think I've got the keyboard plugged in. Let me sort that out. Right, I've plugged the keyboard in. So if I hold down the Commodore key, it should boot into C64 mode. And it will do this reliably. Let's do it. I'm going to do 10 in a row. I've lost count. I'm going to say that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if I switch it now, switch it, oh, it's gone. Right, 1, 2. That corruption's fine. That does mean it's booting. 3. Oh, and the keyboard, the help key is actually holding itself down, but that is not the problem. because it does the same without the keyboard attached. That was number 5 and it's black screened. Oh no, that's not. That's number 5. That's number 6. Oh God, it's behaving itself much better today. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it black screened on number 10. Phew. Now, when it works, I've run the diagnostics through it. I've got a diagnostics cart here. Oh, I've not got autofocus on, so there you go. There we go. That's better. I can show you on this one. Got a diagnostic. No, that's not it. This one. This is my C128 diagnostic cart. And it passes diagnostics. I'm not going to bore you with that. It works. You're just going to have to trust me. So is that switched off? Yes. Let's open it. Let's open it up. That horrible keyboard connector out. It's all already taken apart. All the screws are out. I spoke to my Commodore guru, Adam Commodore lad, and the first thing he asked was, does it have MT RAM? Yes, it does. Lots of it. But the RAM tests all pass. I don't see how it could be. And he said that the only other thing that he could think of that it would be is the kernel. So what I did was I burnt a kernel onto a 27C256. In fact, I burnt 2 of them on there, so it was copied twice because I didn't have any 128 byte 8K. Is it 8K? Yeah. Yeah. No, that's 64K. I can't remember. I didn't have any 27C128s, which is what the actual right size is. So anyway, I burnt the kernel ROM onto an EEPROM, popped it in there, and it started working, and I thought, hey, this is great, and then it started black screening. It seems to be getting better as I do this more, but, which, you know, my instinct was, capacitors! And if this doesn't work, then it really has to be capacitors, but maybe, I don't know. There's something dodgy going on. But the capacitors in this, I looked at this and I thought, oh, there's only a few capacitors. These big ones over here. There's a smaller one here. Oh, there's a couple there. There's another one there. There's another 2 there. There's another one there. There's another 2 in here. Another one over here. There's actually more than it looks like. But it's not a big problem. But I don't think you can buy. Well, I don't know. I've not actually looked if you can buy a capacitor kit for this. So I'm not sure. But anyway, I want to get this socket out because I've changed the ROM and it kind of improved. So, I put the original ROM back in and it improved even more. And I've cleaned the socket. I've deoxidated the socket, and it could be that it's just a dodgy socket. It doesn't look bad. The problem with these is that with this big RF shield and its bits of heat dissipation into it, all of these are covered in thermal compound, and that gets down into the pins sometimes if it spills over the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this out of here, and I'm going to use my lovely new desoldering gun to remove that socket, put a new one in, and see if that works. And if that doesn't work, then I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll probably talk to Adam first about it. I might make this a multi-part video, and maybe I can get you involved. If this doesn't work, then maybe you can give me some ideas. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to put this on the first or second channel, but we'll see. Let's get this socket out and replace it, and we'll take it from there. Still not sure the best way to get this out of here. Whether it's bend these over and then pull it up this side. I think that is the way. Yeah, it has to be, because there's a big pillar in the middle. This big pillar in the middle here stops it otherwise. I've already had this apart, so the tabs, it's got tabs all the way around the outside with the it's holding the RF shield on the bottom. I hate these things. They are just a pain. Don't like them in Amigas. I really don't like them in this. I never want to let go. There we go. So I'm going to turn on my desoldering gun and watch out for a video on this, comparing it to the old Duratool style desoldering gun, and other videos I'm going to do. I intend to do a video on comparing some of the budget soldering irons with something like the Hakko FX888D. I haven't got any more. I haven't got any like high quality premium professional style Metcal equipment, so I can only do like the budget end. But there's different parts of the budget end. There's there is that ready to go? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, there's different parts of the budget end of things where you've got you know, you're really cheap and good value is probably a good way of putting it. So where are we? We are here. So that row there is a resistor pack. That is the Kernel ROM socket. I'm going to actually reflow these connections as a precaution, just because this isn't my board and it's quite valuable, and I want to just make sure, give it every chance of coming out without damaging anything. Heating up my soldering iron to 350 degrees, and I'm just going to reflow with some Loctite multi-core leaded solder. Don't use unleaded unless it's for a commercial application or you're living in a country that has banned it. Right, this is my first time using this in anger. I'm not angry. Weird expression. Oh. That's amazing. It's working so well. Right, I'm actually going to give each pin a wiggle now, because they will still, I say that, they're all, well, that one's still, yeah, a couple of them are just, have a little bit of resistance. They just need a little bit of encouragement to let go of the edge of the via and, or the through hole plating, and that's it. They're all coming beautifully loose. Yeah, that'll just fall out the other side now. Yep, it's out. There is. This is quite interesting, actually. That is interesting. If I zoom down as far as I can go, you can see the backs of these legs of this socket all along in here. It's all discoloured. There's some kind of weird corrosion going on in there. I'll show you the other side is just as bad. And I'll put a close-up picture. So yeah, maybe this socket is a problem. All right, let's find a replacement. Because that was corroded, I'm just going to give that clean. I think that was natural oxidization of the actual metal of the socket. I don't think anything was spilt in it or anything like that. Nothing nefarious. I think that just, and it might bode, it might have negative consequences for for the other sockets in here, that they might one day, or they might already be corroding in that way. Just checking for any damage or anything. There's absolutely nothing to worry about there. It's perfect. Get the magic blue tack, and before it falls out, tack the corners. I'm just going to knock the blue tack off. So the C128 is probably the best Commodore 64 you can get, isn't it? Does anybody agree with that? It's it's got that kind of versatility. It can do so much more. But over here in the UK, boy, are they expensive. Right, let's get this. There's no solder on my bench. Plugged in. So one thing I learned, I think it was Adrian, it might have been Mark from the Retro channel, taught me this, that the video socket on the C64 and all the C64 models and the C128 is always the socket that's closest to the modulator, because on the C64 the modulator is on this side and it's that one. So there you go. Little handy piece of useless information for you. Oh, that's switched on. So we're not going to get the first switch on because I had it already switched on. Oh, and I haven't got a kernel. Something else that is really easy to be caught out on these. And on 1980s motherboards, the convention is to have all of the chips facing the same way, so that the north is always the top of the chip with the cutout. Commodore threw that out the window with this, so all of the memory is facing down, all of the ROMs are facing down, this CIA is facing down, this CIA is facing up. The 8502 processor is facing up, the Z80 processor is facing down, this VIC chip is facing up, this one is facing down, the SID chip is facing down, the logic is all facing down that I can see all around. Yeah, you have to be careful. You have to be very careful. So this one facing south goes in there. U35. Let's see what happens. Well, I haven't broken it. It's not worked. That's black screen. And I don't know if you're getting, I think it might be doing it where it's going bong. So it's working now. And then it doesn't. So I can't hear I haven't got the sound input working because I run it through capture. If I have the sound coming out, then I get echoes on recording, so I can't have the sound on unless I wear headphones, which I'm not going to do. So you might be hearing, when it black screens, a bong noise, a bit like it's an Apple Mac booting. So that, I don't know if that's going to give anybody a clue to what's going on. It's like, sometimes it's 50% of the time. Sometimes it boots like it did earlier 9 times in a row. And then sometimes it just won't boot. So it's not booted then. And then it does. So it's... Could it be the capacitors have reconditioned themselves from being switched on and off? It's black screen. black screen. And this isn't like with the Amiga I did before, where it was, because I wasn't switching it off for long enough, I'll leave it for a few seconds. Black screen. My capture really doesn't like that. So this is going to turn into a long-term project now. What I'm going to do is release this video as is on my second channel. I don't think it's really worthy of a first channel video. And let's see if we can fix it together. If you've got any ideas, then either you can email me. My email is in the About section on my YouTube home page. Click on home and you'll see my details in About, something like that. And you can email me. That's very reliable. I haven't got a huge backlog of emails like certain other YouTubers. I'll be asking certain other YouTubers for advice as well. Mark and Adrian spring to mind as Commodore experts, so they'll be getting a knock. But yeah, if you can't email, or if you don't prefer not to, then Discord is another good way of contacting me. The YouTube comments, I do like getting YouTube comments. I do read them all. But having a conversation in the YouTube comments is really tricky, because I'll get a notification when you leave a comment the first time, and I'll often reply to the comments. If you then reply to my reply, I don't get a notification. So I have to actually go and check the comments, and that's just, I haven't got time for that. So if you want a reliable way to contact me, Discord or email, but leave nice comments as well. But let's see if we can fix this old beast of a machine together. I'm going to put it back together, well, not completely back together. I'm going to put it back in its case, put it to one side and forget about it for a little while, and hopefully lots of good advice will roll in, and we can see what we can do. I will also probably get a cap kit anyway, just to rule that out, because it could be. There is a bit of, over here, look, there is some muckiness around the base of that cap that worries me. Yeah, there's a bit crusty down there. I wonder if I heat that. See, my sense of smell is terrible. My soldering iron's not on. Or I could just pop that cap out, and measure it. Could do that. Should we do that? I've got 5 minutes. Haven't got a fancy component tester, so this will have to do. I don't know if that's actually going to reach. I might have to get clip leads on this. So this is a 330 microfarad, 50 volt cap. 300. Perfect. ESR 0.37. There's nothing wrong with this cap. And I suspect there's nothing wrong with the other ones. I mean, that's within 10% of, and probably the capacitance of my leads is adding to that reading. So it's a Nitsuko. What are your ideas? I'll put that back in. I'll edit this video, and then hopefully someone will come up with an idea and say it's that, and then we can fix it together. Be great, wouldn't it? I hope so.